If you are listening to this live, it is Christmas Eve. I hope you are drinking some eggnog, wrapping some Christmas presents, singing along to Christmas carols, and making a lot of money in the process. I'm sure you're going to spend some of that money on an ad strategy in 2022. So if you need to focus on your marketing pillar, you're going to love this little bite-sized episode on how to increase your ROI with Facebook ads. Welcome to the Bringing Business to Retail podcast, where I, Selena Knight, share strategies, interview retail revolutionaries, and delve into the minds of e-commerce experts to help you grow a profitable, independent retail or e-commerce business. If you're stuck in a rut, or if you feel like business is way harder than it should be, or you've overachieved all of the things that you've set out to and are wondering what to do next, or how do I even make this better? I know that you're going to love today's episode. Hey there, and welcome to this bite-sized episode of the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. If you've been listening over the last few weeks, I've taken you behind the scenes into my Scale Your Store program and given you access to some of the live trainings that we do as part of the program. Now, these aren't the actual lessons inside of the modules. These are bonus trainings where we jump in and we talk about what's working and what's not, things that you can do to grow your business, how to increase your sales, increase your profit margin, get more customers, build your business up. Each one of those calls covers a different pillar. And in this training, we were talking about the marketing pillar. And I know it is all too easy to spend a lot of money on paid advertising. And just like every other person out there, I want maximum ROI for my Facebook ads buck. If I am investing in my marketing, I want a good return. In this live training, I chunked down 3 of the things that were working in Facebook ads right now. And I'm going to share one of those with you in this lesson. And remember, if you're looking to scale your retail or e-commerce store in 2022, head over to scaleyourstore.com and check out the full retail growth program. These live trainings are just one of the bonuses that you will get access to. Okay, let's jump into today's episode on how to increase your Facebook ads ROI with this easy strategy. So today, to celebrate the marketing pillar, I wanted to talk about Facebook ads. Now, lots of reasons why. So when I say Facebook ads, I also mean Facebook and Instagram ads. Lots of reasons why, mostly because it's probably the most used pay-per-click platform that you guys will use. But it's so easy to get it wrong. And it is so easy to just blow through a ridiculous amount of money because you don't necessarily have a plan in place for how to map it out. So a couple of things I want to go through today. And if you haven't already seen, we are giving one lucky Scale Your Store person a chance to win a very in-depth Facebook ads audit. So we will go through your Facebook ads. We will look at who you're targeting. We'll give you suggestions. Pretty much any question you've ever had about Facebook or Instagram ads, it's probably going to be inside of this report. We normally charge $497 US, so it's pretty exciting and it's super easy for you to win. You just have to tell us a horror story. I saw that there was already one there from Lyndall with her account being banned. Hopefully, you're getting that sorted out. You've spent your 5 hours on chat or whatever it takes. But to celebrate that, to celebrate marketing pillar, and just to kind of, whether we talk about Facebook and Instagram ads, or we're talking Google or YouTube ads, or, any pay-per-click ads, or even potentially organic ads, organic traffic, what it's really important to understand is, and you would have already got this from the marketing pillar, right offer to the right person at the right time. And too many times we just run product ads to cold audiences. So cold audiences are people who don't know anything about you. They've never met you, they have no idea who your brand is, they have no brand awareness whatsoever. And so this is where I see so many people going wrong, because they throw out conversion-based ads. So you've gone into your Facebook ads manager and you've clicked conversions or catalog or sales or whatever it is when you last looked at it. Catalog sales is what I think it's called at the moment. And you're like, oh my God, it's costing me $45 to get a sale of $20. That's not Facebook's fault, right? That's 100% your fault in the sense that you can't blame the platform, because a couple of things to understand. Facebook is an auction platform. Just like the country house is going to go to auction, the market's going to tell you what it's going to cost to get your ad out there. So things like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, prices go up exponentially. It will cost you way more to get a sale around holidays, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Valentine's Day, all those kinds of things, because everybody wants to get in front of their people at that time. So first of all, even understanding that is really important, because you're going to have to put benchmarks in place for what you're prepared to pay at different stages of that customer journey. So let's just say, I've got my little thing here, right? I use this all the time, right? So if we're in it's probably backwards, right? If we're in this part, the attract and catch and connect, so the bit before conversion, if we're in that first part, what we need to understand is we are trying to get that brand awareness, we're trying to get the education. What we're trying to maximize is touch points with the customer. There's a pretty good chance, apart from the catch part, and catch will be like when you have either gotten them to the website or when you've gotten an email address, and we'll talk about that in a minute. In that stage, what you really want is maximum bang for your buck. Like, you want people to think you are way bigger than you are, and you are everywhere, right? You've got your shit sorted. So what you're looking for is ways to do that. And one of the easiest ways that you can do this is video view ads. So we actually map out an ecosystem or customer journey for what it looks like when we have a client's ads campaigns. And we always start with things like video views ads, because they allow us to build out audiences. So we have an audience of people who interacted with the ad, or people who watched more than a certain percentage of the ad. Now that ad, you will have seen them, especially for products. You know, they can just be a basic thing that you've made in Canva. Sometimes they're a testimonial ad. Even though they might have a buy now button, if you're running a video views campaign, your main objective and what you're telling Facebook is get people to watch this video, right? If they click on the button, that's awesome. But what I want you to do with my money is get it out there. The great thing about video view ads is they're probably going to cost you about $0.01 a view, which is awesome. So you want to get in front of 10,000 people, it's going to cost you $100. Is that right? Move the thing to the not much. It's really important to use that to your advantage. So you're getting maximum bang for your buck. You're getting that exposure. You can run multiple campaigns with videos for dirt cheap. But understand that what you're trying to do there is build your audience and build that connection. You're trying to do this bit. You're trying to attract, catch, and connect. So you probably aren't going to get any sales, or you're going to get really minimum sales. But that's okay, because that's not what we're doing. Personally, I like to get maximum bang for my buck. So I always try to get an email address. And I want to go through 3 things that you can be doing. I'm just going to kind of inject them in, but 3 things that you can be doing. So video views was one of them that will get you kind of maximum bang for your Facebook, Instagram ads buck. The next one is most retail and e-commerce store owners run product-based ads. It's like, here's my thing, buy my thing. Here's a carousel ad, buy my thing. If you're a little bit more advanced, you've gone into the back end of Ads Manager and you've set up catalog sets, which is great. So you might say, here are kids onesies, or here are wooden toys, rather than just vomit all of my things and just scroll through. However, that's kind of a one and done thing. Like, if you're lucky, you may get a conversion. Remember, conversions aren't usually cheap, especially if they're to a cold audience.
In my opinion, if I can get an email address, I am golden, because I can continue to market that person for a very long time afterwards. So don't always go into any advertising campaign thinking you have to get a sale. To me, if I can get an email address, that is way more important than a sale, because then I can market super cheap to those people. I can build out audiences in Klaviyo based on what they've done. I can retarget people based on pages that they've been to the website, all those sorts of things. You can get hyper targeted. But the good thing is, when you do email stuff right, when you get email, the catch part, the email addresses right, they can cost you, we have one client that we're getting $2 email addresses for, which is freaking amazing. If you're paying anything less than sort of $5, I think you're doing like awesome. Less than $10 in the current environment is pretty good. So think about that. If you can get somebody for $10 onto your email database, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to convert at some point, and it's going to convert for less. They're going to buy more than $10 worth of stuff. So you understand now about things like customer lifetime value, customer acquisition costs. So it's cheaper to get the email address than it is to get the conversion. So start thinking about ways that you can get an email address rather than just the sale. And last week I talked about some of the things that you can kind of give away that were value-based, not discount-based. So when you do this, I don't want 10% off. I don't necessarily want free shipping. It's kind of the last resort, in my opinion. You can kind of test it, but the amount of money you have to sell to pay for free shipping is like, it's really hard to recoup those costs. So things like those education videos, it could be a workshop in your store. It could be something that you've collaborated with somebody else with. It could be gift with purchase. Like those kinds of things are great, but value-based offers, not just, buy my stuff. It could be even like, you can even go with, buy two, get the third free, because you're getting volume. It's all about understanding that cost base and customer acquisition cost, but using value-based advertising to get the email address is going to be a hell of a lot cheaper for you, and you get a chance to put them through your welcome series, put them through the nurture flows. They can understand about you all in their own time, and then you can continue to sell to them. Things that you might want to think about are educational videos. So one of our previous Scale Your Store people, she's actually gone on and sold her business, but she had a kids' toys business, and she was a teacher. So she had this inherent, should we talk about her, I think, in Scale Your Store? So Crystal had this inherent ability, and she had this status that came with being a teacher that was like, I know what kids are good, what toys are good for your kids' development. And so using sort of either educational videos that are short, you can even have longer ones. We sold baby carriers, like a video on how to use a baby carrying wrap. Like the video views on that would be ridiculously cheap, but you're showing people that you have service, you have that knowledge, you're going to continue to be there for them. You can use product ads at this point, but I would be using them more in that sort of video views realm rather than conversion based ads. The other thing you can do is, and I would use this more in retargeting, is depending on how advanced you are in the ads manager, is you can have what are called shoppable posts. So you can actually upload any picture that you've got, and you can click on the picture, kind of like Instagram shopping. You can click on the picture and link it to something that you've already connected in your catalog inside of the back end of Facebook ads. So you might have a picture of my whiteboard, and you would have a link to the whiteboard duster that people could buy, the red marker, the blue marker, the gray marker. And so if people click on it, it will take them direct to that product. So those sorts of things are kind of great for engagement as well, because that's what we're trying to do. We're getting people to engage with your ads, knowing that they may not make a conversion right from the beginning. So once you go through kind of the attract, catch, connect, then you want to convert, right? So when it comes to converting, when it comes to converting, we want to get that price as cheap as possible. Now, the easiest way to do that is to someone who already knows who already knows who you are. They've already been with you through that journey. They've gone through your welcome series. They've been to your website. So retargeting people is going to be much cheaper than it is to just put a product ad out to a cold audience. And so retargeting, we get quite highly detailed. We might retarget people who haven't purchased in the last 60 days, and they might get a different offer to people who have purchased in the last 30 days. Inside of Klaviyo, you can build out those segments, which is one of our clients, in fact, I think it's Anna, she has a segment of people who love a specific brand. And so when that brand is doing a product drop, she can market to those people who are on her database, just as that, she sends the emails, sends a text message, all those kind of things. But that extra bit on social media is just going to get you over the line. And again, you can do this really cheaply because that doesn't have to be a purchase. That can be a video views ad, but because they already know who you are and you've got a buy now button, that's going to send them through. So start thinking about the different ways that you can get people to convert that are going to be cheaper. And just, the biggest holy grail is cold audiences are always going to be more expensive. It is not unusual for a conversion of a cold audience to be anything from $30 above, 30 to 150. Maybe you can support that, but I would say for most of you, unless you really know your customer lifetime value and you've got that nailed of getting people to come back again and again, it's probably not going to be beneficial for you to be paying those kinds of dollars, especially if you've been using discounts to get people across the line, because those people are really fickle. Whereas if you're segmenting out and you're creating offers to your existing customers or to people who have engaged with one of your videos, they may not have given you their email address, but they've watched one of your videos before, or they've clicked on something that maybe they've followed you on social media, whatever that looks like. Retargeting to those audiences is always going to be much cheaper because you don't have to go through that first part, the first 3 steps of the funnel. And then also, obviously, you've got your boomerangs and your drum beaters, creating specific offers for those people. The customer royalty, that stuff goes bananas. So really thinking about your customer journey, like you've got this, I've got a card, but you've got this printed out and write out what kind of offers you're going to put into your customer journey when you're actually putting the ads into place, and then how you're going to move them through. And so the next thing I want to talk about is, at the moment, everybody says video converts, right? The funny thing is, I think Tef was telling me yesterday that out of all of our clients' campaigns and our campaigns, every single one of them, apart from one ad, static videos are doing better. Static pictures are doing better. So what it's so important to do is to always test. You can't just run one ad. Even if you have, we will run the same ad, but with a video version and a static version. This is why we can tell you the answer is, at the moment, for us and all of the clients that we're managing, it is static ads that are working. That can change in a nutshell, right? This is why you have to test. But you can do the same ad. You can do what's called campaign budget optimization, or CBO. And you can just say to Facebook, here's my $20 a day. You go and work out what people want to, do they want static? Do they want video? Really quickly, Facebook's going to tell you which one they want, and then you just go and switch the other one off. So understanding that as well is really important, because just because video works for somebody else doesn't mean it will work for your people. So testing is really important. You can't just slap up a Facebook ad and hope that it works. We spend hours every week inside of clients' campaigns. So every single day, there's at least an hour. And that's not talking about creating new ads. That is actually just going in, looking at what's working, looking at different ad sets, looking at different audiences, So if you're not spending, if you're going to take that role in your business and you're going to be the marketing manager and you're going to be in charge of those kinds of ad strategies, you have to put that time aside in your work day. It's not an hour a week. If you are managing a paid advertising campaign, you should be putting in, I would say, at least 1 to 2 hours a day. So Sarah from Lava Tribe, she has a day job where she is in marketing and she does run Facebook ads. So I'm sure if she was here, she would tell you how often she spends, like how much time she spends inside clients' campaigns. And it isn't 1 or 2 hours a week. It is literally every single day. So I want you to think about that before you go in, because for the most part, like even though we have campaigns that for us that we run that we know work, and we know that setting the KPI, you know, we want to hit $3 email conversions. We want an email address for $3 or less. Sometimes that might blow out to $5. And if we don't keep on track of that, if we're not looking every single day, and if it's $5 for more than 1 or 2 days, we need to do something about that, because that number will just continue to skyrocket. So having those KPIs in place is really important. Don't just set and forget. Know that at this point, it's not viable to keep running. You know, if I'm getting $12 email addresses and I've looked in the back end of my Klaviyo and I'm not getting a return on investment from those people, like I'm not making that money back within a certain time frame, then that's not a great campaign. So we've run campaigns where we get email addresses and then these people don't buy anything. We have an offer inside of our workflow, which is like a $9 or $19 offer. And we'll go through phases where people just don't take that offer up. And we know that if people don't buy within the first couple of months of being on our email list, they're just free pull, right? They just sit there and they don't actually convert into anything. So while we might have paid $2 for an email address, it's $2 down the drain if they don't go on to buy anything. And so understanding that and actually putting the time in to look at what those customers are doing that you've acquired, whether you've acquired them through a conversion or you've acquired them through an email address, what are they doing and what are they worth to you? What is their customer lifetime value? What are their churn rates? So inside of Klaviyo, and this is what we talk about Klaviyo all the time because it's freaking amazing. Inside of Klaviyo, there's a section called predictive analytics, and it will tell you whether somebody is about to not be a customer anymore. So there's a little graph and it goes, it's like color coded. So green is like they're highly likely to buy again soon. It's all this AI in the background that works this out. And then it starts to get to orange, and then at red, they've gone past the point where they, based on your existing customers and their, you know, what they've purchased in the past and a whole bunch of other stuff in the background, if they're not purchasing when they hit to red, they're likely not going to come back. So it's really important that you segment those people out, and you might need an offer to get those people back on board. Whether you do that through email automation, whether you do that through ads, it's really important because you've done the hard yards. You've already paid to get them there. Even just one more sale could turn them from a non-viable customer to a viable customer based on whatever that acquisition cost is. So it's really important to understand that journey and get the right message to the right person at the right time, and not just run those product ads. Running things like the video versus the static, understanding that running Facebook ads isn't a 1 or 2 hour a week job, but also one of the things that works really, really well, and I know I've mentioned this before, one of the things that works really, really well for some of our clients is running message campaigns. And it sounds like it's very highly involved, and to a degree it kind of is. You can do some automation. You can use messenger bots, but personally not a huge fan. The people that we use it with generally have replies set up that they can just pick from, or they know the ad campaign that we're running and they'll have predefined answers in a Google Doc or whatever that they can just drop into the answer. But this works really, really well, especially if you have some kind of service you can add on. So if you want to do styling consultations, if you want to do a personalized shopping event for somebody, if you want to help someone pick the perfect present, like these things, even though they might be labor intensive, of course, it all comes down to cost, right? Know what this cost is for someone to do this interaction for you. It's a really great way because people who message you and get an answer that they're reasonably happy with have a huge success rate and generally buy more. I think if you've been around for a while, at the end of last year, I think it was beginning of this year, I did a podcast with Jackie from Gorgeous, which is customer returns and customer support software. It is awesome. But what it does is it allows you to look at a customer's previous purchase history. And then you can make recommendations based on the things that they like to buy. So if you can see that someone likes a specific brand, you could say, oh, hi, Caitlin, did you notice that these peppermint carob buds just came in? And if you like carob buds, then you're highly likely to buy. And that system actually allows you to get the purchase through the customer support ticket. You may not be at that level yet, but what I'm trying to say is if you have this mapped out, even if it's slightly automated, your chances of getting a good sale are much higher. So the customers that we do the messaging stuff for, their products start in the high hundreds. So I think the lowest product they sell is about $6.99. So it's worth them to actually do it. It may not be worth all of you guys to do it, but thinking about, like, if you have an average order value of $150, like one of my other clients does, you can probably spend the time to have a conversation with somebody because you know that the chances of them buying are really high and the average order value is $150. If your average order value is $30, it may not be the best strategy for you. The key to take away here is understand the customer journey. Understand the right message and the right offer to the right person at the right time is not just going to be a conversion. And don't necessarily do what everybody else is doing. Right? Use these different strategies to set yourself apart. Like I haven't seen this, I haven't been retargeted, but I haven't seen anyone offering personalized shopping services for Christmas. Like, how to find the perfect toy for a 5-year-old, like nobody get on a call. The closest is someone like, was it Adore Beauty? Had like a free skin consultation or something like that. But just thinking about how you can do this yourself or even doing it in a collaboration is going to set you apart, and it's going to get you a much higher return on investment and much more loyal customers than just, please don't ever boost a post, than just boosting a post or throwing a product carousel, dynamic product ad up and hoping that you'll get a sale.
So, what did you think? Is that a strategy that you are currently using? Inside of the marketing pillar in Scale Your Store, we don't talk about what the latest Instagram strategy is because it's not about trying to cheat the algorithms. What it's about is understanding what we call customer leverage points. What is the thing that's going to make someone buy from you? And then using that to build out your marketing campaigns. That's just one of the things that we talk about. You also uncover things like how to build out a high converting marketing plan, how to work out what your KPIs should be, how to work out how much you should even be spending on your marketing. All of those things are going to set you up for success, not set you up for failure. So if you're ready to head into 2022 with a bang and scale your store, head over to scaleyourstore.com and check out the full program. I will see you back here next week for the last episode of 2021. Bye.